The SNP's independence dreams have been torn apart by George Galloway, who has warned Nicola Sturgeon that Scots are increasingly turning against her plan to split the country from the Union. On Saturday, Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon reignited her bid for a break from the rest of the UK at the SNP's annual conference. She told supporters, "Independence is in clear sight," and boldly declared Scotland is, now a nation on the cusp of making history. Ms. Sturgeon believes a second vote on independence can take place after the Scottish elections in May 2021 if her party is able to win and secure a majority. Boris Johnson has refused to grant Holyrood the powers to hold a second vote, but the SNP and Ms. Sturgeon have continued to make their case for another referendum. The yes vote has come out on top in a series of polls and whether Scots would now favour independence, but that support appears to be falling. A poll from YouGov from November 6 to 10 among 1,089 Scottish adults found that yes vote had a narrow lead of 51% to 49%. It was the 14th poll in a row suggesting the majority of Scots are in favour of independence. And a poll from Ipsos Mori from October 2 to 9 of 1,045 Scottish adults previously found 58% of Scots were in favour of breaking away, compared to just 42% who backed staying in the Union. This had been the biggest poll lead ever recorded for the pro-independence side. But Mr. Galloway, who earlier this year set up Alliance for Unity, a campaign group with over 18,000 followers on Twitter aimed at ousting the SNP from power and ending hopes of a second independence referendum, has now claimed, "We are winning the argument." He told Express, "It was always going to be a very tall order to convince people as canny as the Scots to take this leap into the euro and into the terms of satisfaction of joining the euro. In the wake of the pandemic and economic consequences, it is even harder for the SNP and Nicola Sturgeon. The threat is there and that threat of separatism will never go away, but I believe we are now winning the argument. Scots are now beginning to calculate the cost of being separated from the rest of the UK. There are simply not enough benefits of leaving the UK and the subsequent cost would be far too great." The former Labour MP also demanded the SNP and Ms. Sturgeon drop their plans for a second referendum on Scottish independence in 2021 and instead focus on helping Scotland bounce back from the devastating impact caused by the coronavirus pandemic.